Right, welcome everybody to another episode of Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. I'm one of your hosts, Chris, and my co-host and very good friend is Dave.
Hey there, Chris, and hello to our listeners out there. Welcome to Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. We are finally covering Love Is Blind Season 4, Episodes 11, 12, and the reunion. Now, Chris, I say that, the reunion, but in the notes, you've just put Episode 12. You have watched the reunion, right?
I have, yes, I have, David. Okay. Thank God for that, yes.
So we decided, just because we've left it for so long, we had been going episode by episode, but it's easier just to put a full stop and then a post kind of Love Island UK. Although, Chris, it looks like from all the chatter and all the social media messages and whatever, it looks like Love Island USA, it's actually a pretty good season.
Well, I'm not going to say I told you so, David, but you know what I mean? It's been a few weeks since we've recorded. We've both had a little hiatus. It's good to have you back, mate, as well. I have missed you. And I've seen all the posts, and I was like, no, we're not doing another Love Island. But everyone's talking about it, Dave. It's really surprised. Yeah. I've not watched any of it. I've not even started it. But when you messaged me the other day, and I'm thinking, you're supposed to be on holiday, and you fucking messaged me about Love Island, don't start this, because you know that I'll be all in straight away. So, yeah.
It's fucking typical, though, isn't it? We've been doing about, 7 or 8 months of Love Island or something, and the one that we don't cover is actually a belted season.
Kind of balance, aren't we, Dave? But I do say, Dave, I'm so glad we're finishing Love Is Blind. The lucky series finished in about April this year, May, so it's only right we finish it.
But I mean, we are going to take a fairly, we're going to go in broad brushes, I guess, with this one, because, Chris, I've got to be honest. I mean, we'll give our final wrap-up thoughts, I guess, but maybe because we kind of put the season down and come back to it, but these last fucking episodes are a real struggle. I don't know how you found them.
Yeah, and I think as well, Dave, because we've gone off Love Island and gone into watching this again. Again, my own fault, and I'm sure you'd say it. I'm thinking, who the fuck are all these people? I remember Kwame and Chelsea, and then I'm like, even Mika, who is such a whatever her fucking name is, don't start telling me off if I'm saying it wrong, everybody. However,
Micah Richards,
even Mika with Paul, I was like, I don't remember the names. I'm having to go and Google them, going, who are these people? Even though they were like prominent figures in the series. So yeah, I think it was a real damp squib, and the cliffhangers they set up for all the couples, there was only one where you were like, well, yeah, they haven't made it, but we sort of knew that. All the others pretty much did. So it wasn't what I expected. I expected real drama, even though Mika made absolutely sure that she was front and center, Dave, with all the drama for the cameras. But yeah, it wasn't what I actually enjoyed the reunion. I'll be honest with you. I thought the reunion was actually not a bad episode.
Yeah, I thought the reunion was good. And of course, that was all the controversy, wasn't it? Netflix were trying to do it all live, and then they realized it's a whole bunch of different technology needed than just copying files all over the globe, which they do very well. But, it sounds like they fucked up on the live streams a little bit. Makes you appreciate Amazon. Amazon don't seem to have any problems with that at all, with the Prime, like the football that they show and stuff, apart from the fact that, it's like fucking 20 seconds after. So I've usually got a notification on my phone that there's a goal before I actually see it. But anyway, I digress. Chris, the first couple, if we go couple by couple, first couple up, Kwame and Chelsea. Now, did this go the way you thought it would go?
No. I thought Kwame was, I think you'd mentioned about Chelsea and, she wanted basically babies and everything else. And it was very intense. And we'd seen that. To be fair, he had a bit of chemistry with Micah. But I thought he was going to ditch her. All this stuff about playing football, living all this far away. And I know I usually do, where are they nowadays? So we'll do it after we've discussed them about the couple. But I thought it was very strange, this stuff about not taking the name and all this thing. And there was a little bit of drama. But ultimately, when he went for it, I was like, well, I didn't see that in my bingo card for today, them being together. I was very shocked by that one.
Yeah, I mean, he'd basically give all the signals that he wasn't really up for moving there. That was the biggest thing, wasn't it? Because when they were together, they did have an okay chemistry, I would say. but it was more about just the logistics, and you could tell. I feel like whenever the conversation went anywhere that Chelsea didn't want it to go, she got very, she got a bit upset very quickly. And when I say upset, I mean like angry.
Yeah.
And so I thought Kwame would just decide, you know what, this is good, but it's not worth me giving up my whole life. What I didn't like was like, it was just a matter of fact for Chelsea. They were going to move up to Seattle. That was it. There was no other option. There was no discussion about moving down to, was it Oregon? Was it Portland?
Portland, I think it was, yeah.
Yeah.
Portland, Oregon, yeah.
So there was no kind of real discussion about that. They were going to move up there. And so, I don't know. It kind of, they ended up together and you're like, oh, yay, love is blind, I guess. But I don't know. It just didn't give me a good feeling necessarily that these two stuck it out. I just, let's see if I'm wrong on this. If we do a where are they now? I think the pull back to his old life. I just feel like that'll be too much, and I'm just not sure he's thought it all through.
Well, it's almost like this was planned, Dave, but it wasn't. As I said, I will be doing the where are they now by each couple as we go. Dave, this is going to shock you again, but they are still together, my friend, and going strong. He has moved to Seattle and things are moving at a very good pace. They are still, air quotes, married, Dave.
Well, I mean, fair play. Has she met his mum yet?
I don't know. I know that. I mean, she did not agree with that, did she, at all? And,
No.
and the whole idea of the show. But honestly, it's still together, going from strength to strength if the social media stuff's there, because I have done a bit of social media stalking. So, yeah, still going. Very surprised by that.
I mean, sometimes I think the Love is Blind crew, if you like, the batch, they're as bad as Love Island contestants, and the relationships, don't last long at all. But I mean, numbers wise, they do seem to have some couples that stick together a bit longer, don't they?
Yeah, they do, to be fair. I think it helps, though, Dave. I know Kwame was the only one who lived sort of out of the city. They get this right in the respect that they geographically live together. Do you remember the first season of the US Love Island, and the couple who got together one lived on the West Coast and one lived on the East Coast of America, and they stayed together for 6 months long distance, and then it was like, we can't do this anymore.
Yeah.
So, I know it's not like the UK. The UK is you're usually quite geographically where you live, aren't you, most of your life? Or it's not a massive like America. In America, people are used to sort of going to college or whatever, or moving somewhere else, aren't they, from the family? But we're not.
Yeah.
So, yeah, it's interesting.
Was it Too Hot to Handle season 1? The winners of that were like literally the opposite ends of America.
Yeah.
It's like, well, that's clearly not ever going to work.
No, and I think that helps for this one, to be fair. Now, what about, Dave, Zach and Bliss? Now, I know Zach brought the story up. There was a proper heart-wrenching story about like his family. I think it was his mother and stuff, which turned it around. But I don't like him, if I'm being honest, Dave. I'm not sure. I think Bliss ended up with him because she wanted to get back in the show. His intentions weren't genuine. Obviously, he ended up with Irina. Let's talk about her later, Dave. But yeah, very, very strange couple. And the fact that they said I do, I thought she would have a bit of respect for herself and jilt him at the altar because I thought he deserved it.
I think he did, but I must admit, he grew on me a little bit. He's undoubtedly very quirky, isn't he? But, his whole kind of backstory, I felt a bit sorry for him. I thought the evil side of me was laughing a little bit when they put, they have the whole bachelor party, and so they send them off to like a strip joint. It's like, it's clearly very uncomfortable with the whole thing. I'm like, oh, you bastards. Do you not like see the irony of this? Now I thought Bliss, I just don't get it. I don't get where she was coming from. And I just feel like it showed to me that, she was in it for the fame. It came across to me as. But I have to say, but when they kind of got together and then in the reunion as well, I was like, maybe I'm wrong there. Maybe they just had this connection. Okay, they had a little bit of a wobble with the whole Irina thing. But I don't know. I was kind of more bought into this couple by the
Well,
end of it, I have to say.
and it's interesting because Dave, we forget like when these are filmed or anything, but they have been together for a year, and I can report, Dave, they're still together. So things
That's
are
good.
still, yeah. So we always laugh about the milli fucking percent ratio of Love Island contestants who actually stay together, compared to how many actually go in. With this, I think you're right. The actual hit rate is a lot better. So it's a year, so that's 2 out of 2 still together, which is good.
Yeah.
So, Dave, one of the most obvious couples, and I don't really need to say where are they now, is Brett and Tiffany, the most loved up couple throughout the show who seem to hit it off from the start. And I'm going to ruin it for you, Dave, but I didn't see any drama there. They are still together after a year.
Yeah. I mean, I thought these were the couple that you just say, yeah, they're the ones that the token kind of couple that you put in there that you think, there's a 95% chance they're going to end up staying together. And just, I like the way they just approached everything. They just seemed really emotionally mature and intelligent. They didn't always see exactly eye to eye, but then they kind of talked it out and understood each other's point of view. I think what was it, Ollie and Tani? I think we called them from
Yeah.
maths, where it's just like straight off the bat, you're just sure, yeah, these will work out and these will do well, pending any producer meddling. But yeah, I'm kind of glad for them. I am happy they haven't hit a kind of unexpected hurdle because, like I say, unfortunately for us, we love the drama. So it makes when you actually see through the kind of concept of the show, and you do get this pairing right, then it makes for a bit of dull TV. So on that side of it, it didn't really live up to what we're after. But kind of happy for them, and I can see them going from strength to strength.
Yeah, I think honestly, there's nothing to report on them. Still together, still posting on social, still going out to events together. There's a couple Instagram stuff. So I think they were the most obvious ones. And I think I would have been disappointed if they were together. I agree. Now, one of the couples, Dave, we knew was fake. We knew it was complete bullshit. And one of the characters I didn't like was Mika and Paul. He just fucking monotone Paul, boring fucker, and she just loved the drama, and also got called out in the reunion for her some of the things again that we didn't see, but I didn't like her at all. And once Paul jilted her at the altar, I don't, it is the show, but Dave, did she run with it? I'm not giving Paul a pass, but my God, she loved every minute of that. I'm sorry, but she did. It was all fake, all that for me.
Yeah, I mean, it just came across to me like, I mean, first of all, she passed the baton to him. They'd asked her to give a speech, and then she's like, "Oh,
Yeah.
I'd like to say what Paul says." So I feel like her response was going to be a bit fluid. Like, what was she actually going to do? Is she going to see it through, or can he just give me a get out of jail free card, and call it himself? And that's what happened. And by God, the violins were out and everything. I didn't buy it at all either. I just thought it was the best possible outcome for her that, Paul was the one to, say no, which means she didn't have to say it. And yeah, just absolutely milk the fucking milk everything from that. But I mean, there's a tiny bit in my Grinch-like heart that did maybe feel little bit sorry for her. But the thing I can't shake is just how much of a dick her friends were.
She was horrible.
One in particular,
Yeah.
the blonde one. She was just so fucking horrible. She's like, "Oh, you're Mika," as if that fucking means anything. And so yeah, I just think Paul's dodged a fucking bullet there.
I do. I think he was playing the game right. I think he's a bit of a bellend, but like you say, you're right. Her friends, the mean girl stuff, the way they treated him was so disrespectful. We talked about it in one of the last episodes. Just fucking, then they're just the mean girls, all of them together. You don't have friends like that. I'm sorry. Who has friends like that who are just so arsey and horrible to the boyfriends? It just doesn't work, does it? You're never going to have that dynamic. You're never going to win them over, no matter what you do. and he'd be treated like a fool. He'd be paying for the bills every time they go out to try and keep him happy. He'd just end up people pleasing him. So yeah, fuck her, Dave.
I mean, the best from that episode when they were at the bar and stuff, and he was saying, I don't care what she thinks. And then Mika's like, well, you should care because they're my friends. I'm like, oh, fuck off. I just can't help but imagine myself in that position. And I'd be out at that point, but I'm not a fame-hungry social meteorite, I guess. So he had to see it through almost right to the end there. So yeah, I imagine he's quite popular on Instagram and stuff. He's a good-looking chap, isn't he? Boring as fuck, but he's aesthetically good, isn't he, on a picture?
Yeah. Oh yeah, 100%. I agree. I like the hair, Dave. The hair's always nice.
Yeah.
But one of the things that it got me, Dave, so we go to the reunion, is Josh and Jacqueline and Marshall. Terrible relationship. I think ultimately she shouldn't have been on the show. There was no due care there with her sort of mental health on it and that, because she was just, all over the place, and reactions and that. However, I do think that he played his part in that relationship as well. And I don't believe Marshall was sincere. So we fast forward to the reunion, and she's still with Josh, the guy who came to that sort of cast meet up. Fucking, he looked like he'd had a few Jack Daniels, shall we say, Dave?
Yeah.
But we weren't big fans of him. But however, they've been together for 6-7 months at this point when they did the reunion. So I know it'll be a year, and they're still together. So I did not see that. I thought it was a passion thing. I thought it was just a physical attraction, but they seem to be in a better place. And what I will say, Dave, whatever we think, and I've seen this a lot in the reunion, so I want to talk about that briefly, is I did feel her apology was sincere, but Marshall was not buying any of it, was he?
Yeah, but I wasn't buying Marshall. I'm
about to say that.
Having him. Yeah, I don't know what it is about him, but I feel like he's playing a character. Like, and again, a little bit like we said with Mika, like, I just feel like it was just all made up. What I did find weird was this whole fucking thing about keeping the ring.
Yeah, that was weird.
And I'm like, yeah, is that, like, do you buy it? Does the show give it to you? Or what is the score? Is it like worth a few quid? It seems a bit, I don't know. It seems a bit off, if you like. If Marshall's paid for it, it's like, no, I'm keeping the ring. I'm going to flog it for $1,000 or something down the pawn shop. No, just very weird. And I think Jacqueline and Josh were just obviously a better match, weren't they? I mean, toxic as fuck, I think, by the look of them, but that you could tell that's kind of what she was after, like what she was saying all through the series and stuff. And, you could tell that they had a better chemistry and would, have a better crack at it. But yeah, I don't know. I just overriding more so than them as a couple. I just think Marshall was full of shit.
You know what? You've absolutely stole my thunder. I agree. I think
Sorry, mate.
No, don't be daft. You're so right. I think she tried to address it. She's like, I want you to be happy, you be happy. And I think she was right when she said you were going to give that ring to another girl. I absolutely think she knew about that. And I think they'd had this disagreement. Again, we haven't got the context of it, but he had to apologize on the show, on the reunion, because he'd said something and was trying to pass it off as a joke. But his speech about the ring was utter bullshit. Because I was thinking, I remember saying at the time, like, is it his grandmother's ring? Why is she giving it back? And we called her out for it. But she knew. I think he'd said something to her in one of their heated arguments. And that's where this come from. And she kept it on purpose, because when he was saying it to Vanessa, and that Vanessa did cut him off, and I think she was right to, I was like you, I was thinking, fuck me, he has been rehearsing this speech now for 6-7 months since the end of the show, because I did not believe this sincerity in it. And I actually ended up, Dave, and I wasn't a fan, ended up sort of siding with Jacqueline and thinking, well, I think she's right. I think she has grown as a person. Why can't you do that? So yeah, what a strange couple, but good TV. Again, great TV, because you need characters like this.
Yeah, these were the triangle couple, triplet. Well, I don't know what the word is.
Thruple, I think it is.
Thruple, yeah. It's thruples like this that make this show. So yeah, very. I was glad. It's a shame they didn't actually turn up. For the they weren't physically there at the reunion. I think that'd have been fucking. I think it might have been back to the old Jerry Springer days.
Well, you know what, you say that again, Dave. It's almost like we segued into that, but. This situation on the reunion with Irina. Now, there has been a hell of a lot of stuff missing that we have not seen on the show because, by the sounds of it, she was a fucking nightmare on this show. Yeah. And I wish we'd seen all of this shit because she was making apologies left, right, and centre. I was a bit dubious about Zach because obviously he was with her and some of the things that she's done. However, I thought hers wasn't convincing. I thought it was totally pre-rehearsed. I think they were trying to wear on the side of caution. Mika actually apologised as well, but for some of the things she'd done, the Mean Girl stuff. But Irina, by the sounds of it, Dave, was just basically ruining fucking filming. And that's obviously why they binned her off at the end, because she was a nightmare. But I'm like, why didn't you fucking show us all this stuff? This would have been great TV. So What did you think of that whole dynamic? Because she seemed to apologise to every single cast member on the chair.
Yeah, I mean, I guess the positive and sympathetic side of me, the person that I aspire to be, Chris, but always falls short of, sort of wants to see the best and wants to see that she's grown as a person and she's seen how she is and doesn't like it. And so, she's turned over a new leaf. She's had that redemption moment, the Ebenezer Scrooge / Christmas Carol moment, Chris, where she's better. But I just wasn't fucking buying any of it.
No, me neither.
Just like she knows. I mean, I'm not condoning it, but she must have had fucking a lot of abuse on like social media and stuff as the episodes were dropping. I haven't gone to look, but I can imagine, people would not have liked how she was coming across. And to be honest, because she was so bad, I think Mika kind of got away with it a little bit. I think in a lot of respects, she was as bad, in terms of like laughing at other people crying and stuff like that. Just like you say, the Mean Girls stuff. I don't know. I just wasn't really buying it. I was like, I know what I should do is apologize for this, and she probably hasn't really looked at it and thought, oh yeah, that's the person I want to be. Well, yeah, I wasn't buying what she was selling.
No, me neither. But what got me, Dave, and what was infuriating me more than Irina was fucking Vanessa Lachey. Fuck me, does she love the sound of her voice, Dave? I'm sorry. The way she was all buddy with Jacqueline and Josh, and then I'm not saying Marshall because he was a bit of a dick, but her delivery, you can clearly see who she likes on the cast and who she doesn't. And she wants to get involved in stuff. And Nick's there like prodding, going, oh, would you like to tell us about that? I don't like the pair of these two bellends, and I don't know how they're still together. They need to go on Love is Blind because I don't think she's a nice person at all, Dave. I don't like her delivery. I think she's up her own arse. She loves being the center of attention. And all the stuff she was saying, I was getting more annoyed at her than anybody, including Irina and that on the show, because I just think she's just, every time we do these reunions, it's like she seems to go at people and she'll ask them directly, which is good, but it only seems to be the ones she doesn't like. There's a load of their cast members she should have used the same energy on and she didn't. And I just end up getting so annoyed when I'm watching her.
Yeah. Now I don't disagree with any of that, but I'm going to take a weird tangent. So one of the greatest interviewers of all time has just sadly passed, hasn't he? Michael Parkinson, or Parky. Yeah. What a legend. Rest in peace. Now, one of the things that I feel like he did really well was, he'd get the person he's interviewing to spill stuff that, they probably don't want to spill, and just do it in this kind of non-offensive way and not like badger them, but just open questions and kind of get to the nub of the issues and whatever. What these two do on Love is Blind is they sort of make it about them. It's like,
it's not me,
we don't fucking care about you. Well, maybe there are people out there who do care about them, but I don't. And I want you to extract more information from them about, what the experience was like, how it was in the relationship and the wider kind of group dynamics and all of that. But, it seems to be you're only 5 minutes away from, oh, well, in our case, we did this and we did that. It's like, oh, fuck off. I don't fucking care. So I'm with you. I'm not a fan of these two at all.
No, very, and they're on everything. We've said this before about Netflix. So anyway, Dave, we finally got it done, my friend. We're back. Chris and Dave's reality TV cast rides again. Everyone's been like, where are you? So thank you for everyone for sticking on. Thank you for the amazing chat on Facebook. Chris and Dave's reality TV cast on Facebook. Honestly, that messenger chat has been great source for different people with the shows. And there is spoilers in there, so bear that in mind. Obviously, there's loads on the front pages. All the episodes are posted, as always, by Charlene. And thank you so much, guys, for all that. But no, it's just been good, Dave. We had a little bit of a summer break, and now we need to work out what we're going to do next, my friend.
I know, because I feel like, Casa Amor's already happened for Love Island, hasn't it, USA? So I feel like it's a little bit late to jump onto that. So we'll figure it out in the next couple of days.
We will. We'll figure it out. But no, thank you, everybody. If you want to email us, Chris and Dave, no, it's not. If you want to email us, that's been that long, Dave, cdrealitycast@gmail.com. If you want to follow us on social media, @cdrealitycast. As I just said, go over to Facebook, Chris and Dave's Reality TV Cast. Come and join us over there, guys. And also, if you do get a chance, please drop us a review on the podcast. If any podcast catching up, we do appreciate it. And sometimes the worst ones are the best ones that we love reading out when someone's slating one of us or both. So if you get time, please drop us a review on the show. If you do want to support us, get over to patreon.com/CD Reality Cast. So the first roll call of honor for August, David, is Caroline, Kim, Amanda, Larissa, Helen, Macy, Nicola, Emma, Fiona, Cassie, Megan, Kate, Maggie, Kristen, Zoe, Gillian, Keith, Helen, Chloe, Noreen, Joanna, Libby, Katie, Dee Dee, Susan, Tracy, Lauren, Lucky Lily Green, and Ken Gustafson. So thank you so much. And that is an amazing list of supporters. And thank you for everyone who supported us past and present.
It is fantastic. And you've just reminded me, Chris, because we did have a review drop, and this is from our Australian store, so on Apple Podcasts. And the title is, I Missed the Regular Posting. So amazing podcast, but I missed the regular posting so much. It's a frowny face, especially with Love Island. No reunion episode. You could probably cover that in 2 minutes. Just shows how much I love it, though. So that is fantastic. I guess we that was 4 stars. I guess we had the 1 star for not doing every episode on Love Island. But you know what, Chris? I will sacrifice gladly that 1 star for just having a bit of a life back. So
well, you're going to say.
Go on.
Well, sorry, I was going to tell a very quick Chris story. Now, I didn't watch the reunion, Dave, initially. And then our good friends at the BBC wanted me on, Dave. Have you ever seen anyone watch the reunion at lightning speed? Because I did, Dave. You've never seen a 1.5 hour reunion watched in half an hour, Dave, at lightning quick speed with me writing down. Like, when you see the Muppets and the guys on the typewriter going, shh.
I was thinking the Chipmunks.
Well, yeah, basically, I absolutely had to be on my ball for that one, on the case, and I did get it done. So massive thanks to Babs, who always has us on as well, doing with a Love Island specialist, Dave. But I just was like, oh, I cannot believe they rang when I was there. Like, no. So I have watched the reunion, but unfortunately, I couldn't tell you what happened. But there you go.
Nice one. Nice humble brag on the official Love Island correspondent for the BBC there.
How dare you? You know what I said? I missed you. I don't think I did, actually, mate.
No, I miss you too, mate. But thank you very much for this. It's good to put a full stop on this one. And like I say, we'll figure out what to do next very shortly. But thanks to all our listeners out there. Thanks to all our supporters. And we'll speak to you next time.
Bye.